Hello, it's the Mighty Marvel Show, and I'm Paul, and just dropping out a little update now. We've had New York Comic Con 2022. There were a few toy reveals there, not massive from the big guys. We've seen the Marvel Legends reveals in the last couple of weeks with PulseCon, and we've seen a lot of other reveals that come out there now. So there are a few from Diamond Select, which I actually just want to talk about. A quick update on the Ghost Rider Haslab, though. There were some good pictures circulating from the convention this weekend. It's not moving on the back end. If anything, it's gone backwards slightly. At the time when we recorded this, which is a Sunday night, it's 5,422 backers. It needs 170 backers every day until the end of the campaign, which is the end of this month in October. I honestly, really, truly do not think it's going to do it. I hope I'm wrong, because if you've backed it and you want it, then good for you. I'm not backing it. I don't want it. I think it's too expensive. It's not a character I'm invested in. The reveals and the tiers aren't enough to get me over the line with it for £350, particularly even though I love that Mephisto. It's just not happening for me, and I don't think it's going to happen anyway, but I hope I'm wrong. So that's the update on the Haslab. Now, the real big player in terms of reveals this weekend was actually Diamond Select. Now, there were a few of the figures. We've seen some of these figures before. They had the Red Hulk and the Apocalypse and the Beta Ray Bill, which I really, really love. My pre-order is actually in for that Beta Ray Bill, which is dropping in the first part of 2023. Got another action shot of the Vision figure as well, and I think that looks really cool. The comic accurate Vision firing out some yellow sort of solar energy there from him there, so some Mindstone energy, so that looks really, really cool. I do like that. Looking at some of the statues first of all. Now, I'm not actually a statue collector. I love the look and feel of them, but I'm more about the figures because I like to obviously play with them and pose them, something you can't do with the statues. But there are some really cool looking statues that were revealed this weekend. I love this 3 set there. There is a Beta Ray Bill statue, which we talked about. I do love that. This Craven and Vulture. This Craven looks fantastic. I really love the look of that. I would be keen to actually see that in more detail. As I say, I'm not going to be getting the statues, but I did think they look really cool. The Daredevil Elektra, the comic accurate Daredevil Elektra from Chip Zdarsky's recent one, that looks really cool. Quite a sweet diorama that's sat on as well, so it's quite interesting to see that. All these pictures, by the way, are courtesy of IGN.com, give them the credit. I love this Psylocke looking, the Psylocke statue. I think that looks fantastic. Really great pose, and I think that looks super sweet on that diorama. You can just see it next to it, but here it is in more detail. I love this Electro. I think it looks fantastic. Awesome colour scheme. Really great comic accurate costume. And I think that is a really, really fine looking statue. The Green Goblin one next up. And that is a classic sort of Alex Ross type look. Old school Goblin. Bit similar to their Marvel Select actual posable figure that they've got. Don't mind that. The paint job doesn't look that great on the plume of smoke behind it there. But again, it's just an image. Would be nice to see a bit more detail on that one. Then you've got a fantastic Dr. Octopus. That does look really cool in that old school comic costume. That looks great. And then for me, what is my absolute favourite here, you've got this Immortal Hulk. And I just think that just looks stunning. Leaping forward, imposed sinewy muscles, the purple colour scheme of the trousers, the face, the brow. That looks fantastic. I really, really like that. I'm seriously tempted actually about that one. I think it looks fantastic. I do like this Venom Pool statue as well. I think that's quite a cool look to it. Not a big fan of the character, but I do think that looks quite smart. And then you've got this awesome Sue Storm Invisible Woman, which looks fantastic with her legs fading out there into invisible on this sweet sort of board that she's standing on. I think that looks cool next to an Apocalypse figure there that we've already talked about. I really love this Moon Knight. It's shown here with the Scarlet Witch. I love the look of that Moon Knight perched on that sort of top of that Egyptian building there. I really love that. I'm a huge fan of this Moon Knight. I'm very, very tempted by that. However, I have got my pre-order in already for the Hot Toys version of this costume coming next year, and that just looks unbelievable, so I can't wait to get that. I think this Scarlet Witch looks superb as well. Really, really pleased with that. And I think that looks great. And again, we're going to probably get it, but I think it looks fantastic. And the detail on the Hex Power looks great. And I think that's a really great sculpt of Elizabeth Olsen. So I think that looks quite cool. I'm loving this Namor look as well, this MCU Namor. I think that looks really good. Great detail on the costume. Really captured the actor there. And I think that looks quite impressive as well. And a shout out actually for this Captain Carter as well. Not exactly looking like the Hayley Atwell version, looking more in line with what they've just done in the comic, and a bit of a fusion of those two, but I think it's a really clean cut on that costume. It looks great. A real favourite of mine who I do really love, because he's one of my top characters, this Doctor Strange multiverse in the Madness statue looks great. I think they've captured that costume in superb look. The head looks maybe slightly bit too big for that body mold there, to be honest, and so does that hand, but maybe it's just the angle of the picture. I really love that. However, much like the Moon Knight, I have my pre-order in for the Hot Toys Multiverse of Madness Doctor Strange version, so I'm going to be sticking with that because that looks superb. That's the one I'm going to be after. And that's really it. Just a little look at some of the figures that were revealed this weekend at NYCC. Did you go? Did you see any of these? What did you think? Any of these intrigue you? Do you get statues? Tell me a bit more about statues. I'm interested in them. Are they good value? What's your feel on them? Let me know what you've got. Stick it in the comments, of course, and while you're there, like, subscribe, comment, etc. That'll be it. I'll see you soon on another video. Bye for now.